Today I have Russ Carroll, Senior Producer, and James Smith, Technical Director with MobilityWare. How are you doing today, guys?
We're doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well. One of the first things I'd like to get into as we're talking to students is the difference in major roles at an app or a games company. So, Russ, your title is Senior Producer. Can you tell us a little bit about what a senior producer does?
Sure. So I'm the senior franchise producer on Solitaire. And what that means is, like any other producer, I have responsibilities around the product for helping to run the day-to-day operations of what we're doing, helping to run the scrums, helping the different people who are working on the product so that they are unblocked and able to do their jobs well. The more senior part comes in that I'm also involved in the roadmap, which means helping to determine what we're going to be doing for the product going forward and helping to lay out all of the different updates that we're going to be doing over the next year, the next 6 months, the next 2 months, and then breaking those down, getting approvals up the chain for those different features. So we do things like, PowerPoints and presentations. I also then will be responsible at looking at data and helping to guide the project from a little bit of financial side. We have different people that handle different parts, but I need to be looking at and helping push the product at all times at a lot of different levels, and not just focused on the day-to-day development, though that is part of my role as well.
Excellent, thank you. And James, you are the technical director. What is the role of a technical director in a company like MobilityWare?
So I'm managing the engineering side of the project. I have many engineers who work for me. They're the programmers who write the actual code to make the game work. So I'm helping them plan how we'll implement what it is that Russ's vision is. So Russ is deciding what we're doing and when, and my team is figuring out how to make that work. So we're writing the code, finding bugs, fixing bugs, anticipating technical problems, evaluating new OS features, and figuring out how we'll take advantage of those features. So it's kind of the technical engineering programming side.
Nice. Now, James, you yourself are a programmer,
Yep.
and what type of languages do you specialize in, and what do you still get to do much programming in your current more managerial position as a director?
From time to time, it's more kind of reviewing and auditing code rather than writing code myself. But I've had many, many years of programming, mostly in C and C++. These days for iPhone, we do Objective-C, which is a slight variation on what I already know, but just enough different to kind of drive you crazy, but it's still familiar. And then on the Android side, we use Java. So I've had a lot of experience in Java over the years for many reasons. But yeah, in today's mobile environment, it's mostly Java on the Android side and Objective-C on the iOS side.
How much would you say you learned programming in school? How much did you learn on your own? And how much continuing education do you have to do?
So I'm old enough that the stuff I learned in school is kind of obsolete now, and there's constantly evolving technology. So, like the stuff that so I have a lot of engineers on my team who just recently graduated, and the languages and techniques they're learning there are very applicable. A lot of students are writing Android projects in their classes and writing iOS projects, so it's great to see that. But no matter what they learn in school, it's going to be constantly evolving as they get into into the field. So every year there's new platforms, new techniques. So constantly learning on your own. So I'm encouraging my team all the time to be, going to conferences or downloading videos or reading websites. We do a lot of online training here. We have access, in addition to kind of less formal stuff like I mentioned there, we have formal training programs that are online where we sign up all our developers for online accounts on lynda.com. Yeah, we have online training courses available through lynda.com.
Russ, Solitaire is a game that's been around for over 200 years. So my question is, as a producer, what was your role in adding some new twists or techniques into the game to make it popular to a new generation as a mobile app?
What makes our solitaire stand out in a way that the customers are going to love it and not want to play anybody else's solitaire. So as you look at the past, daily challenges is a great feature that was put in there. That was actually done by James entirely. And this is a feature that it allows the player to have a daily goal, something to focus on, where they can see as well, you've got the calendar up there, that they are completing each day. They can look back and show, hey, I've got this long string of days where I've completed each of the daily goals. And you could go back a month if you wanted to. Today's deal actually was a lot of fun. So these types of features are the types of things that I'm very much focused on, and we've got a couple of others that we're working on right now. And that is exactly to the point you mentioned, which is how do we create an even better experience? And I always think about the customer. What's going to make the customer happy? What's going to make it so that the customer is enjoying their experience more and enjoying us more as a company and appreciating what we're doing. So how do we create something that's the right thing for them is really the focus.
What kind of analytics and tracking do you have in place to know how your customers are using the game, and what kind of decisions do you make based on the results of that data?
Sure, and we do gather data on how many people are playing each day, and we do some looking at what features are being opened so that we can get an idea. The bigger thing that I think we do, there's going to be two parts. There's pre-release and post-release. With before we release a feature, we take into account some of that data, and we also will spend a lot of time discussing what we think are really good features for the title, and then stack ranking those, going through a series of approvals and discussion with multiple people to try to find what we think's best. We start working on those features sometimes by doing something as simple as a mechanical Turk. I don't know if you're familiar with Amazon's platform, but we can, make multiple screenshots, put it on Mechanical Turk, see how people respond, and then, work towards something that is getting a better response. We do play tests internally, and then based on those play tests, we'll tweak features as they're going forward. And then once something goes out, we don't typically roll a feature out to 100% of the market. So you're playing daily challenges. When daily challenges first came out to Android, 50% of the users saw them and 50% of the users didn't see them. We let the users know about it with a little what's new box that shows when they first turn it on what's new in the application. So 50% saw that, 50% didn't. And we tracked through that was an A/B test, the results, how users were interacting with it, what the impact was on users. If we see that the results are negative, the users aren't really jumping with it, enjoying it the way we want to, then we won't necessarily roll it out to everyone, or we might decide not to roll it out to another platform like iOS or Android, depending on where the feature first came out. So we use a multitude of different ways to look at it, and we're looking to even more of those in the future. But it's very important. If you're making something just for you, that's great, and that's a lot of fun. If you're making something for customers, you really want to get an idea of what customers feel about the thing you're making and if it's meeting their needs.